Hi, crystal balls. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Y'all, if you could take a moment to please hit that subscribe button. It takes a few seconds out of your day. It's free. It doesn't do anything to harm you. It actually helps me out a great deal. There is about 50% of you who continue to watch this, but you aren't subscribed. So if you could do that right now, that would mean a whole lot to me. So please, please, please. Cream and sugar on top. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. So today we are going to be doing the most requested video, second most requested video. Actually, the first is Charles Manson, but this one is going to be about Jim Bob Duggar. That's right, that Jim Bob Duggar from 19 Kids and Counting.
You Jim Bob. Is that you?
And the father of Josh Duggar, who has been charged and convicted of some pretty horrendous crimes. Keeping that in mind, I want to give you guys a trigger warning because this could end up being something that is upsetting. I'm not going to say the words, obviously, but I just want to put that out there for you. Mind your triggers. This could be something that is triggering. So absolutely fine. If that's okay, we will see you on the next video. Love you and support you. Okay, for everybody else, we are going to be using the Dark Fairy Tale deck today, and we're just going to get started. You guys know who Jim Bob Duggar is, so we're just going to go for it. So I want to know, back when his daughters were assaulted, was this something that he believed? All right, so the two ones I'm getting, I feel like he was shocked, but not surprised. Like, I feel like when this came out, and I don't necessarily feel like it came out through the daughters, it probably came out through the babysitter, that this happened. And I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's what it feels like to me, that this would have kept going and going and going if somebody else from the outside hadn't stepped in. So I don't think he would, I think he was shocked but not surprised that this happened. No, not at all. So the Four of Pentacles, yeah, this hurt his heart, but at the same time, he was already in planning mode to figure out what he could do to cover it up. So four also represents the four that were hurt. I think he went into panic mode and plotting mode right away. Their plan was to take him to the police to scare him, and then make him do some hard labor or whatever the case may be. What he actually did, he went to a family friend's place. Now, the police officer that they took him to, this is a fact, and you can look this up. The police officer that they took Josh Duggar to and made him confess is actually a person who did the same thing and is in jail as well. So let's just say that Jim Bob knew these people. Okay, you tracked what you put out in this world. So his son and the police officer who was friends with, they took him to this police officer. You attract your vibe, you attract your tribe. And this is the type of people that Jim Bob Duggar was running around with. I want to make that abundantly clear, that he attracted these people for a reason. I really think he lost his faith a long time ago. I feel like he really is cold when it comes to religion. It's all about money for him. It's not something that is a practice out of love or out of a faith or anything like that. This is something that's very, very cold. I feel like he feels like his God turned his back on him. Like, I think he felt like he prayed for help over and over again. And I'm talking about help, not just for Josh, but for his own sins. and it was never rectified. The thing is, they never put work into it, so there was no rectification without any sort of, it's not magically going to happen. You can pray all you want, but you have to put work in. It's not going to magically go away. So that's something I feel like at that point in his life, after the controversy happened with the young girls, his children, that he still doesn't believe to this day. And I completely believe that he still doesn't completely believe, because that is his son. That was the apple of his eye. But the apple of his eye did not fall too far from the tree. I know I'm doing some tarot. I know I'm doing some reading. Just let me go. And, if you're going to complain in the comments, just know that this is what I'm getting. So, man. I really feel like Jim Bob was closer to Josh than any of his other children, but closer as in very much the same. Very, very much the same. So I feel like this was a tease. This is just a small glimpse into the devastation that actually is in this Duggar family. And you can take a look at my playlist that I'll put around here somewhere, or I'll put it up later. But I really feel he lost his faith. He got angry, and he became very, very cold. He became very calculating. I think he sat there and he really did pray for himself to be able to be freed from his own demons. But you have to put work in, Jim Bob. Like, my God. He is very, very angry at God right now. Very angry, because he keeps, even though he lost his faith, he keeps praying, and I think it's out of habit, but he still is angry because his son's sitting rotting in jail, and their name is now synonymous with CSA and child endangerment and some pretty poor choices that were made. I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Bob Duggar did exactly the same thing as Josh did, but even with his wife. So the fact that they use this thing called joyfully available means that she has to be available to him for sexual conquest at any point that he wants, any point that he feels like. And that could be in the middle of the dinner, that could be in the middle of church, that could be right after she gave birth. And it really is that insane. I think he trained and groomed Michelle into being this person that he brainwashed into believing that this was okay, that this is what was supposed to happen. And it's not. There's such a thing as consent, even in marriage. And that is something that people need to keep in mind, that even though Jim Bob and Michelle are married, there are times that she did not want to do the wifely duty. That's the thing. It's not anything that was for her. It was all for him. It was under his time, under his thumb, under his eye. It's very gross. But Michelle was brainwashed into believing that this is how life is. And because she was brainwashed, her assaults went unwarranted, not unwarranted, unrealized. Or the thing is, I can tell you that woman wanted to say no plenty of times, but because she believed in being joyfully available, that was something that her husband taught her, that there is assault that's happening here over and over again without her consent. Like, she is doing it because she felt like she had to. This is why they have so many children. This is why she's had miscarriages. This is why, it's horrible. horrible. Like, he really, like, it didn't matter if she had given birth 24 hours previously. It was his time. Wow. I feel like even though Jim Bob is very cold and calculating, he still went through a lot of motions that somebody would who is religious. This one specifically made me think of Jesus in the desert fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. That's what this makes me think of. I feel like maybe he maybe have not literally done that, but I think he's done fasting. I think he's done things like that. And I don't know why this is news, but I just want to tell you that it's all surface level. There's nothing of faith there. He doesn't serve that master. He serves another master, if you guys understand what I mean. We're going to go into that. So, yeah, it's like he's on the river of Styx. And uh, he's on the river of Styx. This is very much the opposite of God. So this makes sense to me now. We're living in reverse world when it comes to the Duggards. So as much as they push religion, as much as they push their narrative of being a good family and everything like that, it's the reverse. It's all upside down. So they don't worship God. They worship their master. So they call it God. I think the only one who doesn't understand that is Michelle, because she just goes along with it. But I'm telling you, they have done rituals. They have done things that are very anti-Christian and very anti-spiritual and very anti-good. They are reaping what they're sowing. They sold their souls, so to speak. You can't really sell your soul, but you sold, basically, in essence, they sold their soul for the fame. The thing is, they weren't going to be able to make it much longer without TLC financing them. So, and if you just look at Jim Bob, and this is the truth, you can look it up for yourself, but Jim Bob did not pay his children. He said that it was missionary work. He did sell or gift houses to some of his children, but they were too small, cramped, and the thing is, they couldn't afford it anyway. They couldn't afford to go off and buy their own houses. They had to make money. Like, Jim Bob never paid them. One of the siblings, Jill, I think Jill and her husband are in the process of writing books, and Ginger's in the process of writing a book and suing Jim Bob for money. The thing is, like, children, especially in reality shows under contract, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as being protected with child labor laws, because it's a reality show. They don't have them. Parents sign their rights away. Parents are responsible for any payments that are supposed to happen. So TLC has been abusing these children and putting them on air and allowing them to work 10, 12 hours a day, even when they did not want to work. And their parents abuse their children by making this happen. So I just want you to understand the level of abuse that happened. Some of these children had been groomed into this lifestyle, and I mean reality television lifestyle, since they were babies or before they were even born. So you had all of these children, an army of children, to do your will, to do what you wanted them to do, but now it's backfiring and it's falling apart, and thank goodness it is, because these kids are breaking away from evil, true evil. And I want to challenge anybody who feels like Jim Bob Duggar and his wife Michelle are not truly evil, because the amount of abuse that they did to their own children is outstanding. And again, there's no child labor laws to protect them, so TLC abused them just as much. Any reality television show does the same thing, because children are not under any sort of guise of protection. So, like, their little 3 and 4 year olds could be putting in 12 to 15 hour days. Anyway, um, I really feel like Jim Bob is involved with some very underground things, an underground group. And this wouldn't be a group that you guys know about. This is something that is, I don't want you blaming certain groups that are famous and infamous or whatever you want to call it. Like, not, there's not like Skull and Bone or Masons or anything like that. Like, be realistic about this. These are people who are very rich and live underground lives and they do underground things. The dark web, the red web, is not something that they are unfamiliar with. I really think that there are There are red rooms right now that are being run by this organization that Jim Bob is part of. I don't want to say Michelle is because she again just follows around la 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 without a thought in her brain that has anything to do with actually standing up for herself. But the thing is, she was brainwashed as a teenager by Jim Bob Duggar. God. He is the white knight, guys. He's the one that's going to come and save us all. Don't you know that? Like, that's what he's been presented as. And Josh ruined it all. I think if Josh Duggar didn't get into the position that he is, they would still have a show on TLC right now. I know this isn't necessarily the reading that I was setting out, but this is the first reading that we are getting for Jim Bob Duggar. So, um, I don't think he believes his daughters. I don't think he believes that these children were abused. I don't think that he believes that the victims of Josh are real. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's like this is something holy, but anti-holy. It looks like it's holy here. It looks like, but it's connected. It is connected. It's part of their religion. It's part like the abuse of the children are part of their religion, but their religion is serving their master, not serving God. Um, ugh. This is a prison. These children, the ones that are still brainwashed, this is a prison. This is a cult. Okay? And they're not the only ones part of it. There are other people part of it. Okay? There are other people who are big families like them who are part of this. It is a much bigger cult than what it seems like, but it's there, it's underground, it's bad. It's not a famous group of people that are doing this. This is a group that is unknown, that is underground, that is very much, they use the energy of children. Why do you think they're having so many children? They have more children than people who are practicing Catholics. You know, they're having an obscene amount of children. They are not following biological situations as far as waiting so many weeks before procreating again. Like, they're not following the things that they should be for the health, at the very least, of the mother, but the health and well-being of these children either. This bothers me greatly. This is like deep, deep, deep underground stuff that they use the energy of children. So I want you to sit back and ask yourself, what do you think Jim Bob is actually involved in? Do you think that Josh Duggar happened upon this lifestyle all on his own? Or did he figure it out with a little help of his dad? Because I think his dad would have helped him. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. I know if you've made it this far and you make a comment about how you think I'm snarky against the Duggars, I am. I don't like them. And if I had the thing is, I can put my opinion aside and do a reading. But when I only see darkness and greed, and it's not the cards that I use, it's not the deck that I use, because these, like the devil, can be good and can be bad. But in this case, the devil is bad. The devil would blush. The devil would shake his head. That's how bad it is. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world. Remember, every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one with Bob Duggar. All right, bye for now.